Hey all, this is Pickleball on Call, back for another consult. This is Honolulu Pickleball Company's J2CR with Crystal Blue Endurance Grit, a high-end power paddle known for its great firepower, durable grit, and elite spin generation. At $175 after code, the J2CR with Endurance Grit is one of Honolulu Pickleball's highest performing and best feeling paddles. Now, this might sound like a lot of praise, especially in today's market, so let's dive into the data and see if it's really worth the hype. Stay tuned because we just blew past 100 subscribers, and to celebrate, I'll be doing another giveaway at the end of this review. The CR series utilizes a multi-density foam core that Honolulu has termed the core reactor design, hence the CR in the name. It's a lot to unpack, so stay with me. At the center is a notched full-floating EPP foam core with incisions or what they call power flex grooves. On the perimeter is a notched EVA foam ring that's interlocked with the EPP core. Near the handle is an expanding foam insert that they call a control joint, and altogether, this core design serves to enhance flex along different aspects of the paddle and improve its overall feel. At the time of making this video, the J2CR is available in the standard 5.5-inch handle option, as well as the extended 6-inch handle option. The CR series is also available in the J6 elongated and J3 shapes, which were not tested as part of this review. My standard handle J2CR Crystal Blue measured 7.87 ounces stock with a swing weight of 106.8, a twist weight of 6.46, and a balance point of just 23.1 centimeters. My extended handle unit measured 8.05 ounces stock with a swing weight of 109.2, a twist weight of 6.47, and a balance point of 23.5 centimeters. While both of these units fell short of Honolulu's advertised twist weight of 7, it should also be noted that the static and swing weights were lower than advertised. Thus, for all intents and purposes, it would be pretty safe to say that these landed close enough to the advertised specifications. Out of the box, the J2CR can be played stock. Now, I know I say that a lot, but I really do mean it with these paddles. They really don't need any weighting at all, but there's plenty of room for modification if you're someone like me who likes to experiment with weights. I've personally set up my J2CR long handle with 3-gram PickleClips near the top corners and 2-gram PickleClips near the bottom corners, 2 layers of overgrip, and a 10-gram coin. The paddle is already good stock, but I found that this setup really does unlock the paddle and transforms it into something truly special, with significant upgrades in sweet spot stability and power output, not that it needs any of those. This setup brought the swing weight from 109.2 up to 116.2, the twist weight from 6.47 all the way up to 7.6, and the balance point from 23.5 centimeters down to 23 centimeters. Firepower metrics were standardized using 3 reference paddles that were tested side by side with a stock J2CR. The numbers that you see up on the screen are an average of the standard and elongated handle options, as there really wasn't much of a discrepancy in power or pop output. As always, power is defined as ball speed off of a full swing. I recorded an average serve speed of 57 miles per hour, which translates to a power rating of 8.5 out of 10. Dynamic pop, defined as ball speed off a shorter stroke, such as with a flick or a punch volley, averaged 40.3 miles per hour, which translates to a dynamic pop rating of 9 out of 10. Static pop is defined as ball speed after contact with a stationary paddle, such as with a block or a reset. I use my in-game impressions as a proxy for the paddle's PB core. As you would expect, the J2CR struggles with taking pace off of the ball. With that being said, I had a surprisingly pleasant time zeroing in my blocks and resets as the ball response was pleasantly predictable off of the face. For this reason, I would give static pop an 8.5 out of 10. The J2CR receives an overall firepower score of 8.75 out of 10, which places it in the middle of the power category. Spin was measured using slow motion footage of heavy top spin serves. The J2CR's aggressive Crystal Blue Endurance Grit generated an average top-end spin reading of 2,518 RPM. This translates to elite levels of spin on my scale, and it's also one of the highest recorded average I have on my database. In addition to spin generation, I tested the surface durability of Honolulu's Crystal Blue Endurance Grit. After roughly 60 hours of playtime, my J2CR long handle with Endurance Grit was still generating over 2,500 RPM of spin. With that being said, the change in spin is likely to be within the margin of error for testing, which means that realistically, I could argue that there really hasn't been any significant degradation of the face. Control is loosely defined as how well a paddle allows you to place your shots where you intended on placing them. I calculate control by taking a weighted average of a paddle's firepower, forgiveness, and playability, while factoring in my in-game impressions. Please keep in mind that this is a subjective and relative rating and that your impressions may vary depending on your skill level, playstyle, and paddle preferences. It's not a one-size-fits-all approach and everyone has their own take on what determines a paddle's control. So, taking its high pop, oversized sweet spot, and elite spin generation into consideration, the J2CR scores a 3.5 out of 10 in my control rating, ever so slightly outperforming paddles within its firepower class, such as the 11624 Power 2, Enhanced Turbos, Bread and Butter Locos, and Friday Aura Pro. As always, because this is a power paddle, it will score lower in control than paddles in a lower firepower class. On the court, the J2CR has an unbelievably consistent response across the face thanks to its oversized sweet spot profile, which I'll put up on the screen. The green outline represents the optimal sweet spot, whereas the yellow outline represents the rest of the sweet spot. Despite the stability being lower than the reported specifications, the sweet spot is truly one of the largest and most forgiving that I've ever felt on a paddle. With just a little bit of weight around the perimeter, the sweet spot transforms and becomes almost edge to edge. It felt as if every single shot was predictable and consistent, so long as I made contact with the ball. On the court, the J2CR offers a beautifully connected, well-balanced, and crisp feel. The core reactor design allows it to play firm without being overly stiff, and it also adds a very slight touch of springiness and flex on harder shots. When it comes to paddle break-in, I didn't personally notice any changes in firepower. However, the paddle did soften up a little bit after about 3 to 5 hours of play. Overall, the J2CR seems pretty consistent from start to finish. At $175 after code, Honolulu Pickleball's J2CR is one of the most complete, consistent, and sophisticated paddles on the market right now. While overall control isn't its strong suit, I'd argue that the J2CR still has relatively good control compared to other similar paddles within its class, despite its relatively high firepower. Everything considered, I would personally give this paddle an overall rating of 9.25 out of 10. Now, I don't like to make predictions because the paddle economy changes so quickly, but I would be willing to bet that the J2CR or J6CR becomes many people's 2026 paddle of the year. Whether it's mine, well, we'll just have to see when we get there. We just blew past 100 subscribers, so as a thank you to you guys, my community, I'll be doing another giveaway. This is gonna be the biggest giveaway yet, and the winner will receive a brand new standard handle J2CR with crystal blue endurance grit, 3 lifetime balls, 1 set of 2-gram and 3-gram PickleClips, a Nylacore undergrip, and an assortment of Bodhi and U-drip and overgrips. To enter this giveaway, all you have to do is like this video, subscribe to my channel, leave a comment down below, and fill out the Google Forms in the description. This giveaway is only open to residents of the lower 48 states, and I will be announcing the winner in 2 weeks. Thank you guys so much for being part of this community. Let me know what paddle you want me to review next, and as always, I'll see you in the next one.